Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be doing my top 5 bosses that could appear in Breath of the Wild 2. Now, with some of the trailers that we've seen for the game, we've rarely seen any of the bosses. We've kind of seen a stone Talos that has a goblin camp on top of it, and that's just about it. So in this video I'll just be going over some bosses that from previous games that could appear in the sequel. So for number 5 is Phantom Ganon. Now, one of the things I want Phantom Ganon to do is like appear in, I would say, the halfway point of the game. I would say one of the dungeons that you go to, and it could be similar to the Ocarina of Time boss fight in terms of Phantom Ganon could appear as like regular Ganondorf, but then strip away like the facade, and he could be Phantom Ganon, and he could be like he could do some of the stuff that Phantom Ganon from Ocarina of Time could, like appear within paintings and stuff like that, and you could have some stuff like that Wind Waker Phantom Ganon could, like he could, like, you know, have like a giant blade. He could, and they could both do the Phantom Ganon tennis thing, and it'll be something quite cool to see. And it'll be like with those two boss fights from Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, it could be a preparation battle before you fight Ganondorf himself, and there could even be a similar message from Ganondorf that in Breath of the Wild 2 that could be similar to the one made in Ocarina of Time. For number 4 is Dark Link. Now this boss could appear in the second to last dungeon of the game before you fight Ganondorf himself, and this could be really cool because this could be a boss that could be created by Ganondorf. He could have created his own version of Link via magic or something, and he could send out Dark Link to stop regular Link from defeating Ganondorf, and he could appear in the second to last dungeon, and this Link could have all of Link's movesets from Breath of the Wild, and he could have, like, you know, Rivali's Gale, Doruk's Protection, Alberta's Fury, and Mipha's Grace, and he could also have the you know, bomb arrows, regular arrows, that kind of thing, and also the runes. And I think it's a bit too OP, but I would say if he had all the runes, one champion ability, and a couple of normal arrows, bomb arrows, and let's say ice arrows, let's say, then I would say that would be an even fight. Because then, if Nintendo made a very hard Dark Link fight, then I would say people might stop there and might not progress because this Dark Link is too OP. We can't get to, let's say, half health without dying every time, let's say. And I'm not saying Dark Link is a boring boss. It's just like for this boss, you have to think of, okay, if I want to add some stuff, I might have to lose some stuff or stuff like that. For number 3 is Manhandler. Now Manhandler is this giant sort of piranha type boss, which I think has only appeared in one main Zelda game, I think that being the first one. I could be wrong, but it also appeared in Hyrule Warriors, excluding the Age of Calamity one. And yeah, with Age of Calamity being not Age of Calamity, the Hyrule Warriors being a spin-off, I don't really think that counts as another appearance, because that is a spin-off game and it's not really connected to the main series. So I would say the only mainline game is the very first Zelda game where Manhandler has appeared in. And in this fight, this could be like one of the Stone Talos type fights where you could see different Manhandlers throughout the world, and you could see one in, let's say, the grassy areas. you could see a few in the desert areas, and maybe 1 or 2 in the icy areas, and that'd be something quite cool. And then we could have like a cool boss fight, and we could have like we could have it updated. Like you could use bomb arrows or something instead of a boomerang to defeat it, or you could status it and hit each head of it, or hit each head and then try and go for the weakness or something like that. And it'd be something quite cool. It could, and also the boss fight could take some inspirations from the first fight in the first Zelda game, as well as maybe the Hyrule Warriors. Even though that's a spin-off, I would say combine both fights together into one, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, and I think Manhandler would be an awesome choice for a boss. For number 2 is Moldova. Now, Moldova is one of those bosses that everyone hates, and for good reason, because it's a really annoying boss. It just goes all over the place in terms of its in terms of the places that you fight it in. But I would say it's kind of gotten better with the in some of the fights, like with A Link Between Worlds. I think that's a better fight than the one in A Link to the Past, because in the Link to the Past boss fight, every time you got knocked off and fell down to a lower room, and every time you went back to the same room where Moldova was, you would have to restart that battle. Whereas with the one in A Link Between Worlds, you would just start off, every time you go back to the floor, or same area where Moldova was, you would be in the same phase that you were when you were knocked down. So I think that'd be cool. And with this one, you could have Moldova in Breath of the Wild 2, you could have Moldova be the largest it's ever been, because I would say in A Link to the Past, Moldova was, I would say, larger than you, but I would say probably not by much, maybe because of the limitations of the graphics. Then with A Link Between Worlds, you could see it was a lot larger than you. So with Moldova, you could see that this could be a lot larger than you. And then we could see, and for how we could defeat it, we could use Rivali's Gale or some fire arrows to create an updraft. We could create an updraft and hit his tail. It's not a very inventive boss fight, maybe, but it'll be something quite interesting to see how this boss fight in the game could work. And for number 1 is King Dongo. Now, King Dongo is an awesome boss, I would say. I quite enjoy some of the boss fights, or the boss fights that you can fight him in, like Ocarina of Time, and stuff like that. And we could see, again, like with Manhandler, we could see him appear in several places that he's not normally in. So like, we could see King Dongo roaming about the Elden area, or we could see him roaming about, let's say, the icy area, like Mount Hebra or something like that. And that'd be something quite cool, because we rarely see King Dongo outside of fire. And we could, probably in Breath of the Wild 2, we could see that King Dongo, there has been several King Dongos that have adapted to the cold, and they, instead of breathing fire, they spew out giant balls of ice. That'd be something quite cool and to see anything to see. And then instead of using, then we could use fire arrows or something to try and knock down King Dongo, so we can go in for the damage. Something like that. That'd be something quite cool to see. And this could be just one of those another roaming bosses that we could see, or it could just be a normal boss fight that we've seen. But if they do go for the King Dongo as a normal boss, I really hope that they update him a bit. So again, like I said before, if it was a roaming one, this new updated boss fight for King Dongo could be an ice one, and this one has been adapted to survive in cold, because let's say its home in Elden wasn't safe for it, so let's say it went to, it adapted throughout the years to be more, to basically be more experienced with the cold and stuff like that. So I think a new form of King Dongo would be something cool to see. So that's been my top 5 bosses for Breath of the Wild 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.